Welcome back to The American Dream. We're thrilled to have my next guest on the show for his first time. I want to welcome Tarek Morshed. He is a Platinum Top 50 Realtor with Cooper Sotheby's International Realty. Tarek, thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you. Pleasure to be here.
Oh, it's a pleasure to have you. And Tarek, I'm going to let you do the honors. I know that you have a very special guest with you today.
Special indeed. This is Mark Sprague. I've considered him a premier economist, real estate analyst for the city of Austin for many, many years. What would you say, 30 years now or so?
I've actually, yes.
Yes.
Let's just say 30 years plus.
And we in the real estate industry definitely depend on Mark and his annual forecasts and such to really get a great feel of the market and disseminate that information to value add to our clients and such. So he's with Independence Title. He's been doing this for a very long time, brings a lot of value to, like I said, a lot of us in the industry and just even our local economy, and being someone of a great source in that regard.
Well, Mark, you are quite the icon, and we really appreciate you taking the time to be with us today. I actually do want to start with you. Tell me what your forecast for the Austin market is right now for the 2018 year.
Well, let's start with the 1st of January. 1st of January, I would have said that 2018 would have be pretty much the same as 2017. However, the last 30 days, looking at the number of contracts that are coming in commercially and residentially, the market has gone from strong to robust. We've doubled the number of residential contracts we're seeing from the MLS system. We're seeing commercial double and triple. I wish I could. I usually have empirical data to tell you the reason the economy's turned here. It could be interest rates. It could be the tax reform. It could be a number of things, but we really cannot tell you why the last 30 days, not just Austin, but the Texas metros have blown up as far as the number of contracts we're seeing.
Sure. And what about you, Tarek? What are you seeing?
Well, you know, I forecasted that we would have a good year, but not as strong as previous years, that we're close to peak in this cycle. It's been a really robust upcycle for the last 5-6 years. And, you know, I predicted that we'd have a good year, but basically flat maybe on appreciation. And, you know, below 600, we'd see maybe 3 to 4% appreciation, and above 600, I felt that it would either be flat or even declining a little bit, with the idea that it was just kind of a cool off year or two, and then the next upcycle starting after that.
And this is the longest positive run we've had. 6 years in Texas was the longest positive run, and we're about 8.2 years into this positive run. So I think any of us that have been around any period of time have that concern of the shoe dropping, and we just haven't seen it.
What segments of the market, in your opinion, do you think will perform best in 2018? And what are some of the challenges that Austin faces?
Great question. And we may not be able to get that in even an hour, the challenges. Entry level, obviously, nationally, is a huge opportunity. You cannot build a house for less than $250 in Austin. There's probably one builder in state, D.R. Horton, that's able to do that with Express Homes. But I can't get below, in the city of Austin specifically, I can't get below $450 because just of the cost. It's a longer entitlement period, which is time from when you buy a piece of land to the time you actually can start construction. It's much shorter than the other Texas metros. And then anything below 600,000 will do, but the entry level will do well. In the commercial side, office space downtown Austin is now the third most expensive in the nation, which people are always surprised about. Secondly, we've seen industrial and warehouse have phenomenal growth in the last 6 months. Cannot really tell you why, because it should be San Antonio and Dallas with the confluence of railroads and roads where your transportation hubs are. But in Austin, we certainly have seen this, and people go, was that Amazon? There's multiple reasons. Harvey actually stabilized the economy at many levels. Anytime you see concessions, whether it's on rents, whatever that concession is, that is a sign of softening in the market. And we saw concessions prior to Harvey in most of the Texas metros. After Harvey, they went away. And so presently what we're seeing is just a good, steady market with very little vacancy.
So Tarek, what is considered the luxury market in Austin, and how is that faring?
I would say $1.5 million and above. And I would say that kind of relating to what I was saying earlier, that market has peaked in this cycle, and in terms of price appreciation and even demand, I feel it's definitely oversupplied. It will still do well, but it's got to be priced very right. But otherwise, I think this year we'll see inventory move, but not as in, again, past years, and we'll actually probably see some depreciation in the $1.5 million to $2 million and above. And then interestingly enough, once we get into 4 or 5 million and above, that market's actually very strong and undersupplied, and I think it will remain the same.
I mean, it's not as robust. There's more realtors, but it's still a good market.
Well, I wanted to ask you, Mark, what you see in store for Austin's economy, and what are some of the emerging sectors?
Where is our economy headed? Austin has doubled in population over 20 years, no matter what. We've had very environmentally friendly councils who have said if we don't build the roads, people won't come. There's multiple things that have happened, yet we've continued to grow. The only thing I see stopping us is the regulations and the way they're trying to put them in place. And this is true of most cities. We are not a dense city, i.e. we don't have a lot of vertical buildings. The only vertical that is absorbed very well is luxury downtown. We are not going to smaller lots like you see in other parts of the country, 20, 25 foot. So I would say the biggest issue is the way that cities are trying to change the economy, and you can't change desirability and location. I mean, real estate rule is location, location, location.
That's right. That's right. Well, gentlemen, thank you both so much for being on the show. You are both experts in your fields, and we couldn't thank you more.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And if you have any other questions, reach out to us online, AmericanDreamNetwork.tv, and we'll be right back with more of the show.